Hey everybody, Planet Walls here. We are here for round one of season 2013 Classic League Qualifier Tournament 1. The rules are a little bit different this time in terms of how qualifying works. I just said a lot of words though. I guess what I'm trying to say is this is our opponent's deck. Endless Nameless's deck. He is playing a Bant-colored fish deck. Fish because it used to be, with Merfolk, but now the disruptive creature heavy decks are just known as fish decks in general. Runs this gentleman, Big Tarmos, Stone Forges for a Batterskull, and then a Jitte in game 2 if he needs, and he probably will board that in. Pride Mages and Nature's Claims. So I'll show you my deck list again in a minute, even though you can watch the deck list video, which is right before. He's also got a 1 of Mana Drain, a Recall, which is bad against us, 2 Paths, which I think are dramatically worse than Swords against us. Missteps are fine. The Annul is actually good against us. Some Forces. Trigons are also good against us. And then on the board, he'll probably bring in 2 Paths and maybe the Jitte. Probably keep everything else out, I would imagine. Maybe bring some sort of Fire and Ice. Anyway, these Spell Piercers are kind of mediocre against us, at least. But the reason his deck is good against us, you'll notice the 3 Nature's Claim, 4 Pride Mage, and 4 Trigon Predator. We are playing, if I can find it real quick. There we go. We are playing this kind of... Why is it saying that? This Zur the Enchanter deck. Okay, so I have like the wrong versions of these cards. There, they're suddenly fixed. We are playing a deck that is heavily enchantment based, and our enchantments actually don't do that much against him. Mine Harness is pretty good against him though. Ice Cage is okay. None of these things are great. He can equip things and make Ice Cage worse. Mana Vortex is better than Back to Basics, which is probably bad against him. I mean, we have some better cards in form of Swords to Plowshares, Missteps, and he doesn't have Brainstorms. Detention Sphere is bad because of all his Nature's Claims. So I'd say we're at a disadvantage, but I've said that before too. I also wonder if boarding in Trigons is probably better than just playing the Zur because they can come down a turn early and they do a little bit more damage. But we'll see. I look forward to this match. I have fun playing against fish decks, and I've played against Endless, I think, once before, or maybe I've just played against him in DEs in the tournament practice room. He's a nice guy, and I look forward to the match, so I'll see you guys in there. All right, and we are off. We are definitely going to be playing first. This hand seems okay. He'll probably counter the Geist. I think I'm going to actually lead off the Vendilion Click. Might not be right, though. We're not going to mull this. So I'm probably going to use a Misty and find a basic Forest, because he's running a Strip and 4 Wastelands. These Cities of Brass are probably bad in this matchup. Okay, so he mulls. That's okay. I have no problem with that. So let's find... I mean, we could find something like a Bayou too, and he could waste it maybe. I don't really want that to happen. I kind of want to keep my basics in the deck, so maybe that's actually a decent thing to do. You know what? Let's play it that way. If he wants to waste this, I'm okay with that, because now we have a Hierarch. Or maybe he'll misstep this. That wouldn't be the end of the world, actually. Okay, so that happened. He could waste our Savannah, but I think that is probably okay with us. All right. So let's try this again. So, should I have found the basic Forest? Maybe. We resolved the Hierarch this time, though. So if he wastes this again, I feel like we're in good shape. That confinement is bad. I kind of want to brainstorm that away. I think I'm going to Vendilion Click during his draw step. Yeah, and we want to look at his hand here. Okay. Pride Mage, Skull, Mana Drain, Stone Forge. This is a good question, because he already has his Batterskull in hand. So next turn, he drops the Stone Forge. I think Okay, the Pride Mage won't come down for a while. Like, I want to land Geist of Saint Traft. That's kind of how I think about this. Trop Misty. Okay, so the question is, do I take Mana Drain or Stoneforge Mystic? I definitely don't take Batterskull, and I don't think I take Pride Mage either. I think I go ahead and take the Stoneforge just because him keeping up Mana Drain leaves him not at all in a proactive position. But he could draw another Stoneforge before Batterskull time. It's like the question is, I can land Geist on my turn, and how quickly will that win the game? With his Pride Mage, I don't think it'll win the game quickly enough, even with the Hierarch out. So I'm going to take the Stoneforge. I feel like that's the safe play. Now he has an unknown. So is that right? Yes. All right. And that's awesome, because we have the click out. I'm actually going to play this right now, and that definitively increases the number of options we have. I could have actually brainstormed before combat. Maybe I would have found another Hierarch to increase damage. I'm not going to let him Mana Drain this turn, because he would get off a Batterskull. So I think what I do is I brainstorm during probably his main phase, A. Actually, I'd probably do it before combat damage. That way, if he drains it, it's not very interesting. If we find a cavern, then we're in excellent shape for the Geist, though, too. Okay. We're going to brainstorm right now. And we find a second Geist. I'm going to assume that that doesn't need to happen. I could Caracas here again and play another, play Vendilion Click again. I don't really feel like that's necessary. I'm going to put the Geist down first. Actually, no, this Solitary Confinement sucks extra bad. So let's get that out of here. Okay, I feel okay about that series of plays. So first things first, we're going to drop, I think probably the Forest this turn. No, because we want to shuffle away that, that enchantment. So I'll drop the Misty. We definitely want to keep Caracas untapped. So let's find, what do we want here? Probably a Bayou. And I think we are still in good shape. So again, I can bounce Vendilion Click, but I can't play him uncounterable right now with the Cavern, so I think it's risky to do that. I think keeping the Caracas around, just as a safety net, is probably the right play. Maybe this is a path? What does he want to path, though? The Hierarch, probably? I think that would be okay with me. Ooh, see, I feel like he just pathed the wrong guy there. Do I want the land more than I want to... No, I want to save this. I don't think he's going to be able to kill Geist this turn, so... I would really path the Hierarch if I were him. And granted, that guy's pretty big, so... But I also feel okay just throwing the Geist away because I have another one. And we have enough land to play them both. And we have a Pride Mage. Okay, that Pride Mage is real good. So the Pride Mage allows our Geist to attack and really threaten him and put him at 1, which eliminates all of his fetch lands. I probably want to tap like this, I imagine. Yeah, because our second Geist isn't going to come down this turn. That was a great draw. Okay, and he concedes. So we move to our game 2. I'm going to look at his deck real quick. So this is our deck. His deck, I think he's bringing in Jitte and probably the sword and probably these 2 paths. And I think he cuts the recall. Maybe he actually cuts the Batterskull, but probably not. He might or might not cut the Annul and any number of Spell Pierces. Probably 2 Spell Pierces. He might bring in Selkies also for the other Spell Pierces. So that's what I'm going to look at, and I'm going to keep a Spell Pierce here just so I remember he could be bringing it in. What we want to do, I think, is bring in Trigons, because they can eliminate its equipment. Bring in Mind Harness, bring in Mental Misstep, probably bring in Ice Cage, Steal, Mana Vortex. These things, what is this? Is this good? This can kill a piece of equipment. It's not extraordinary, though. It might be better than a Detention Sphere. Screams from within, I have to check. I don't think it does enough because it only makes his Hierarchs go away and maybe his Selkies if he's playing them. So I don't think it's that extraordinary. I could be wrong. So we're not going to bring that in. These guys are definitely staying out. And I think the Plaques... Does that come in here for Zur? Like, I think Zur super sucks in this matchup. So I actually feel like cutting one of those is fine. Cutting a Back to Basics is good. Energy Flex is super bad. Solitary Confinement seems bad. Mind Harness good. Like, I don't know. I think bringing in Trigons is right. Probably cutting a Detention Sphere, at least one is good, because he has so many Nature's Claims that I think he keeps in. Like, I wonder if actually, like, going down to very few of these cards is better. Because, like, keeping a Detention Sphere is probably good. But I'm not sure about the Mana Vortex. And Ice Cage, I think, is just better because you can play it on a Noble Hierarch sometimes. I might cut down one more Zur. Mana Vortex is pretty bad if you draw it before the Zur, but I think... I mean, maybe this is better than Mana Vortex. Yeah, let's do it that way. It's kind of a tough situation, but I think that makes sense. Hopefully, I didn't mean to be rude with that GG. I was just responding to his, but maybe the smiley could be taken as sarcastic. I don't know. So let's see. We cut down a bunch of Zurs, so hopefully his Nature's Claims are worse. His Cold... So the more I think about it, the more I think he boards out Spell Pierces. I think he keeps in the Nature's Claims, even if I board down Enchantments a bit. They're just so good against Detention Sphere. So we have another double Geist hand, which I think is okay. We're not going to mulligan this. And I'm going to lead off with a basic Forest, since we have it in our hand. No fetch lands, so Deathrite isn't very good right now, though he has fetch lands probably, and Wastelands. Nothing on his first turn, no Hierarchs, that's good. And Weakened Swords, probably a Goyf early or something, or a blocker for Geist of St. Traft. So we definitely thought about doing something with that Deathrite. I don't know if he was going to counter it with a Mental Misstep. Maybe he wants to save that for a Swords or a Brainstorm. Not sure. So if he uses a fetch, we can drop a Geist of St. Traft. And I think that puts us on the road to victory. But he didn't. Okay. He does play a Goyf. So if we draw a fetch here, then we're in great shape. We didn't, but that's okay. I think what I do here is I play the Hierarch and then play a Cydia Brass, and I just try to kill his Goyf right now. The real question is, do I want a Hierarch more than I want that Swords to resolve? I think I want the Swords to resolve more. So I'm going to play a Hierarch right now when he might misstep it. And he didn't. So that leads me to believe that he doesn't have misstep. Let's make this Goyf go away. Alright, and he gains 0 life, which is awesome. And now we attack for 2. That's not insignificant. And next turn I fully expect Geist to come down. I see no reason why that wouldn't happen. We have a Jitte, that makes our Ice Cage really bad. I feel like we're so ahead in terms of land that was potentially good for us. The question is, do I want to attack for 2 or Brainstorm here? And I think I actually want to attack for an extra 2. So let's play this, and we're going to name Cleric with it. So maybe that's unusual not to attack with for an extra 2 here. I'm sorry, not to save for the Brainstorm, but I think dealing as much damage as possible is good, especially when we have a massive damage dealer like Geist out, and when he can gain life with something like Jitte. He can pump his dudes with the Jitte when blocking the Geist to finish it. We've got our other one. Okay, there's a Trigon. We can ram into that just fine. Definitely just fine. And now we can kill his Jitte too. So I can't do everything I want to do this turn, but I can do most of the stuff that I want to do. We don't have another Cleric we're going to want to play. So playing this first. It could get countered. It didn't, though. And now we attack with just the Geist. Okay. So I can Brainstorm now, and that could be right, but I think I want a little bit more information. So I'm actually going to pass the turn here. Well, like the question is, do I play this land or not? I'm going to do it, actually, because I might be able to use... I can definitely use Deathrite Shaman to have him lose 2 life. And that's on top of killing his Jitte with Cavern. So I think... Oh, looks like we got these games. Well, thank you, everybody, for... Oops, I left really quickly. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you next time.